Should you buy Dead Island 2's DLC expansion pass? If you're debating on buying the DLC, or maybe you already bought it with the gold edition and you're just trying to figure out where your money went. In this video I'll do my best to give you everything we know about the Dead Island 2 DLC and whether it's worth the buy. Well, for a visual of what happened to you who pre-purchased, here's what happened.
2, 1, and scammer gets scammed, buddy.
Alright, you didn't get scammed, that was a joke, but we also don't have much specifics about the DLC yet. We know the expansion pass not only comes with weapons and skins, but it will also come with 2 more chapters to the story. We don't know the specifics of these stories yet, but I'll go over some calculated predictions for all of that and a release date prediction at the end of the video. Now, just a quick disclaimer, everything I say in this video is a prediction and doesn't have much evidence behind it. I'm just taking a guess at what I think the expansion may look like based off the end of the game. Now, to quickly go over the weapons, I will say that definitely alone this is not worth it. There isn't really any unique weapons with the DLC right now, you're basically just paying for different skins. If that's all you care about, then just go for it. But I'd say the skins are not worth it as of yet. The character skins maybe, but the weapons not really. Unless they had some sort of exclusive weapon like the crossbow that people were able to find within the game files, which might actually give us some insight into what the DLC would be about. But we will go ahead and talk about that later. As of now, there's nothing worth it for the weapons. I've already used some of the weapons that came with buying the gold edition, and I have to say they are not that great. I didn't even end up sticking with most of them. Right now you're able to try and buy the Red's Demise katana for $2.99, and if you're gonna do that, you might as well just give me the money because that is $2.99 in the dumpster. Just trust me, unless you got money to throw away, which should apply to no one, then just don't buy those individual weapon skins. Now, the main purchase point behind this DLC is the story expansion. We're supposed to be getting 2 brand new chapters of the main storyline featuring new missions, enemies, abilities, and areas of Hell A to explore. Now, before I go over what the DLC storyline and how the DLC has been set up with the ending of the main storyline, first let's go over the areas that the game may add. For me, a huge part of this game was the iconic LA locations, so these 2 additional locations to me will make this DLC worth it by itself. I have some predictions on some of the things that I'm really hoping are just in the game. The first location that I think could very likely be in the game is Malibu. We have this open area on the top left of the map that is just the perfect spot to add some more zombies and finish the storyline, while making use of the beautiful sunset next to these nice homes. Other possible areas that I would love if they added in the game would be areas like Dodger Stadium, Universal Studios, or even LAX. Now, those do sound amazing, but I highly doubt those actually make it to the game. There is one other area that I think likely will be in the game, and that is downtown LA. And downtown LA already is pretty much a zombie town, so there won't be much they need to change. But it would be cool to explore iconic locations in downtown, such as the Staples Center or Crypto Arena, whatever you want to call it. Now that I think about it, maybe that's why it's not in the game yet. Maybe the name change threw them off, so they had to make changes to the entire stadium and they just let's just leave it for the DLC. Or maybe not and I'm just coping. We may end up getting just some boring area in the middle of the city. I'm curious as to what areas you guys would like to see, so be sure to let me know down below. I'm sure there's some good ones I'm forgetting. Also, while you're down there, be sure to like and click the subscribe button as shown for future Dead Island content like this, where I'll keep you guys updated on all the important news, like an official DLC release date. Every sub means a lot to me as I'm currently 3/4 of the way there, so appreciate all you guys who do it. If you haven't beaten the game, then I recommend leaving the video because I will be going over what the DLC storyline may consist of, which has to do with the ending of the game. Okay, so to get into it, one part of the expansion will likely include Tisha. Tisha is the daughter of Dr. Reed, and right before the final fight with Dr. Reed, Tisha escapes and isn't seen again. Tisha will either be an antagonist or a person needing to be rescued. It was revealed that her father was experimenting with her before she was even born, so it's likely that she is important to solving the zombie apocalypse. And it's also very likely that we will get the bow she is seen using throughout the story as a reward for one of the quests. Another part of the DLC will likely include Lola Conrad. Lola and her small group of Newmen believe they are the next step to human evolution with their superhuman abilities. However, in order to become the new age of human evolution, she needs to stop the cure from being made, which will give her a reason to go after Tisha before she can escape. There are 3 people we see throughout the game that are a part of this group, so it will likely be 3 individual boss fights between the 3 of them. So in summary, is the DLC worth it? Well, we don't know for sure yet. So to be safe, you may want to wait and see what it's all about. I pre-purchased with the gold edition and I believe that it will be worth it. Of course, it's not worth it right now, but once the expansions are released, it should definitely be worth it. Now, to predict a release date, I first wanted to look at the DLC for Dead Island 1, which would technically be Dead Island Riptide. However, Riptide was released as sort of its own game, and it was also released almost 2 years later. I don't think that will be the case for this game, but just know that it is probably the max amount of time that we would ever have to wait. What I think is more likely is the game will first have to die down from its initial release hype, and there will also have to be a selling point. I think it's likely they may release it around the end of the year when it'll be around Christmas time and the game will likely be on sale, and it'll just be another way to market the game. Pretty much any time from then and after September, I think is a good prediction for them to drop some DLC. The developers themselves also said in a conference that the game will have at least one more year of support from the developers. So that just means adding new content and just anything that adds more to the game. So I would say definitely expect the DLC within that 1 year time frame, but hopefully sooner. Hope you guys found this useful, hope to see you on the DLC. Till next time, love ya, see ya.